It's Peaches here, and this is Peaches Pit Party, the podcast. A lot of puh sounds with that title. A replay of today's full show, which you can hear weekday afternoons live on K-Barrel 101. I hope you like what I have to say, and if not, well, then I'm sorry, not sorry. Enjoy. Happy pre-Friday, a.k.a. Thursday, kicking off the show with Angel Song featuring David Draymond from Disturbed. Nothing More right there. Hey, tomorrow, that new album from Nothing More, Carnal, is going to be released, and I'm totally going to try to do a full album playthrough tomorrow afternoon during the 5 p.m. hour. Let's just sit back and listen to the entire album. I think we did that for the last Nothing More album on Victor's show, the Spirits album, which I think is fantastic. Again, Nothing More, one of those bands that is highly underrated. I'm very upset that their tour with, is it Set It Off, From Ashes to New, and a whole bunch of other bands is not coming anywhere close. But Set It Off and From Ashes to New are going to be doing their own tour and also coming to Salt Lake City, which I'm going to try to go to that show. So many shows, so little time. It especially feels like the later part of the summer, there's going to be like back to back weeks of just me going to shows, which I'm not complaining about. It's just the drive to and from Salt Lake City, to and from Boise. That can get rather annoying. I wish we actually had the Cape Air private jet, like I've talked about on the show before, just to fly privately. I don't care if it hurts the environment. You can yell at me all you want. I'll be going to concerts all the way out in Boise, and the commute will only be about half an hour, 45 minutes at most. Not even that. Probably just half an hour, maybe even just 20 minutes. Land safely right before the show starts. Get out there, enjoy the show, then fly back the night of. Not be home all that late. Man. It must be cool being Taylor Swift to fly privately everywhere. You don't have to deal with TSA and all that. You just get to have the whole plane by yourself. No screaming babies on the plane. Oh, man, that would suck. K-Barrel 101. It seems that we don't really learn anything from movies. Or I'm wondering why exactly we're doing this. It seems like scientists haven't learned the lesson of the Terminator movies because a group of them are working on a robot that has human skin on its face. The face skin is a cultured mix of human skin cells grown in a collagen scaffold placed on top of a 3D printed resin base. As if that is creepy enough. If that is creepy enough, the skin also has the equivalent of the ligaments that in humans and other animals are buried in the layer of tissue beneath the skin, holding it in place, giving it incredible strength and flexibility. Why do we need this robot to exist? That's my main overall question. If any one of these scientists could call in right now at 208-535-1015, let me know exactly why we need a robot with skin on it. That would be great. I do like today's radio prep question. I might have to actually save this for tomorrow's To Peach Their Own because I already have a question on our Facebook page for today at K-Barrel 101 FM. I'll be getting to that later during the 4 p.m. hour. You can have 5,000 of anything that starts with Y. What do you choose? Some of the responses on Reddit, yesterday's, don't necessarily understand that one. Yachts. Where are you going to store 5,000 yachts, huh? You're going to need a whole... it's impossible. Not impossible. Highly unlikely you'll find anywhere where you can just put 5,000 yachts. 5,000 Yetis? You mean like the cooler? Obviously not the actual Yeti monster. 5,000 years, maybe? Do you really want to be alive for 5,000 years? All of your friends die. Your whole family might come to an end at some point. You're just in a mansion living like a vampire. Because let's face it, anybody who lives that long is going to be rich because they're stacking up money for that long. Eventually, at some point, they'll be rich. You know the Haktua girl? I've talked about her for the past 3 shows. I'm getting real sick and tired of the memes online, especially on Facebook. That girl, of course, is now making a lot of money thanks to that, dumb phrase. She teamed up with some hat company. I'm trying to find it here. The Haktua girl, the hat company she partnered with, it doesn't even say here. Well, she partnered with this company, and they made a great decision because overall, she has made more than $65,000 with all these hats. The cheapest hat that they're selling is for $32. They're already sold out of a signed version they were selling for $50, so you could have gotten her autograph at some point. Howard Stern on his show was talking about how her dad how her dad should be disappointed in her, or like she's a total nightmare to her dad or something like that. Not exactly. I mean, if she's raking in money for just a dumb phrase she said to one of those many, many people you see online just interviewing random people, how did that video even come about? There's always those content creators of guys with microphones walking around a busy street. Somehow they'll find some whack job and then put it online. This girl was not wacky at all. She just said hot too, and then it went all over the place. So lucky her, I guess. Now, this right here is your Shot Clock Sports Update. The Kansas City Chiefs will be playing on Christmas this upcoming season, so it only makes sense that they'll have their own Christmas movie. The team and Hallmark Channel, which is based in Kansas City, have teamed up for a Christmas film called Holiday Touchdown, a Chiefs love story. Man, oh man, does that sound gross. The plot of the film is that a woman whose Chiefs superfan family is in line for the team's Fan of the Year contest falls in love with the Chiefs director of fan engagement. The film begins production next month and will be shot around Kansas City, including at Arrowhead Stadium. I feel like this has something to do with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. The folks at EA Sports have stirred up a bit of controversy among college football fans awaiting the CFB 25 game. The game makers have released a list of the top 10 hardest places to play as a visiting team, with Texas A&M's Kyle Field at number 1. That choice made many fans laugh, as most consider number 3 on EA's list, LSU's Tiger Stadium, as the hardest for a road team. In the game, which is due out July 19th, the visuals will be slightly altered to make things harder for road teams in the top 10 stadiums. And last but not least, in baseball news, Cincinnati Reds pitcher Hunter Greene really lifted all out on the mound Tuesday night. The right-hander got the start against the visiting Pittsburgh Pirates after walking his first batter. He threw a pitch to the second batter and then threw up all over the mound. He took a few moments to compose himself and then stayed in the game, although he didn't do very well, surrendering 6 runs over 4 innings. It turns out this is the second time he's gotten sick in a game. He also threw up on the mound last week and blamed it on the hot weather. Might be something going on with that guy. He might need to go to a doctor, get that checked out. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. This is very weird. About 60% of Gen Z adults actually enjoy moving. Only about 22% of baby boomers share that enthusiasm. Well, this is, of course, out of a group of 2,000 Americans, so it's weird to assume that all Gen Zers enjoy moving, or more than half of Gen Zers, more than half of all Gen Zers, I should say, enjoys moving. The survey of 2,000 Americans who have moved in the past 5 years found out that about 80% exceeded their moving budget, and it took respondents an average of 5 months to recover financially. Moving does take a whole lot of money out of your wallet. And it does suck when you have to move from apartment to apartment to apartment, and they end up just, the landlords will keep your your security deposit for whatever reason. Oh, there's a little hole here in the wall. We're keeping that $750. Landlords are like a step above radio management. And to be a radio DJ and to, be underpaid in most places, have to move around from state to state to state to state. You do get to see a lot of different states, but I mean, at what cost, really? Do you really want to move all around that much? Say you were a part of 8 different stations, finally have a nice one, a nice little run later in your career, and then just settle down. That's what happens with a lot of radio DJs. I'm very envious of those that start in Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, and stay there for their entire career. I do look up radio DJ, is it biographies or their career history? And some of my favorite ones have been in LA since I was born. They started their career back in 96, have been doing that same show for this amount of time. Lucky them. Oh, good for you. Instacart has released its Flavor of the 4th report, which shows which foods are in high demand before the 4th of July. Demand for corn is up almost 400%. Charcoal up over 200%. Demand for potato salad almost 200% as well. Other in-demand items include baby back ribs, hot dog buns, canned baked beans, bratwurst, typically all the stereotypical foods you would eat on the 4th of July. Does this mean Americans are going to chow down more hot dogs than burgers this year? Or have people just not purchased their beef patties just yet? Hot dogs are way cheap. I would go towards hot dogs. I mean, I don't really feel the best after eating hot dogs, but I don't necessarily feel the best after eating a burger either. You know, the idea of eating a burger is always better than after eating a big burger. Then you're like, oh man, my stomach hurts. I'm tired. Not necessarily your stomach hurts, but like your stomach's way full, over full. You're wanting to take a nap. It's just not good. I just had a burger for lunch, which, by the way, I might actually release on my personal Facebook account at Brendan Peach, the fast food burger tier list. I think I've made my decision on which fast food restaurant has the best burger, and I'll reveal it in that post there. You ever see a product get advertised online and you go, who would buy this? Well, for this, it would have to be a lot of those moms who collect Stanley Cups. Maybe their kids are also obsessed with Stanley Cups, or Stanley tumblers, I should say. There are toddler-sized Stanley tumblers that have now landed at Target. Just a small version of the regular Stanley tumblers. Are we really going to have any toddlers appreciate these as much as the moms will? It's always moms. There's never any dad that's excited over a Stanley tumbler. There's this stay-at-home mom who's a quote-unquote TikTok creator named Caitlin Tippett, which she shared a clip online of her encountering the toddler Stanleys at a Target store and said, oh, you're coming home with me. Oh, that stereotypical phrase. Oh, yes, please. No, stop it. Toddlers are going to be swinging these cups at each other. These things better not be made out of metal. I can only imagine one toddler severely causing head damage to another toddler out there on the playground, just swinging that Stanley Cup left and right. This is downright hilarious. Flights out of some city in South Korea were delayed Wednesday morning after balloons presumably sent over from North Korea drifted into the area. 3 runways were temporarily shut down after a balloon landed near Terminal 2. About 1,500 such balloons have landed in South Korea since May. You know what's happening, as I talked about this on the show previously, Kim Jong-un is sending over these balloons that tend to contain paper, garbage, other gross things inside, dirt, worms, human waste, slashed clothing. The balloons could be a response to anti-North Korea broadcasts launched by South Korea. They're just having these petty games between each other, and I love it. Activists have sent leaflets, messages, and K-pop music to the notoriously isolated nation, of course, North Korea, which is pretty funny. It's just these balloons that are just, delaying flights. I would be so upset if I tried leaving out of Idaho Falls Regional, even the Salt Lake City airport, and I just hear over the loudspeaker saying, hey, we're going to be delayed because there was a balloon filled with just dirt headed our way, and it's going to be, and it crashed on the runway, and we need to clean it up. Right now, I'm planning my summer vacation back home. Pretty soon, I'll have to plan my fall vacation back home as well before the snow gets here and gets in the way of every plane trying to take off. I think about these things. I'm like, I'm not going to fly out during the winter time because typically that's when the airlines can have their excuses saying, oh, it's too cold to fly, cancel my flight. I'm all excited to leave home for a week. And of course, I see that canceled notification and then have to find either another week to go back home or just wait till springtime completely. Six Flags is doing that Fright Fest, and they announced their lineup, and that really makes me want to go to Six Flags during my fall vacation back home. Six Flags or the Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights. I love that those Halloween Horror Nights. Best mazes. It was a whole lot of fun when I used to work at Knott's Berry Farm. And me and all my former coworkers would just plan a night, all go to Halloween Horror Nights. And Six Flags, their lineup this year looks amazing for what they're doing with the Fright Fest, Saw, The Conjuring, Stranger Things, Army of the Dead, Trick or Treat. And I do like how these run from early September to early November. Extreme frights and unexpected surprises. Is this where they can touch you? I don't like the whole touching thing. I'd much rather just have them scare me. But they never go after me either. They see me and they go, okay, we're not going to mess with the giant dude for obvious reasons. We'll just go for the, because a lot of my coworkers from Knott's Berry Farm were a bunch of like tiny girls, average sized dudes, and then there was me. they would all go for the tiny girls every single time. Well, if you think you're having a bad day, it's probably got nothing on what some Connecticut homeowners had to deal with on Tuesday. Ann Bedard heard a loud bang, rushed outside to investigate. She saw that a large manure truck overturned and crashed onto her neighbor's car. Its entire stinky load was dumped and sprayed all over her yard, her neighbor's yard, and both of their homes. She said it was like literally a waterfall of brown. All of a sudden, we see the sewer come out of the truck, and then the petrol was coming out of the top. It was just flooded down. It was just flooded down our property. That line doesn't make any sense. A cleaning crew arrived on Wednesday to remove the mess, but also dug up a few inches of soil on the properties just in case any hazardous materials seeped into the ground. The cause of the truck crash is still under investigation. The driver sustained minor injuries. No one cares about the minor injuries from the driver, of course. Those homeowners care about their homes smelling like, well, actual, waste. And it does not smell good at all. My middle school, we had to deal with the fertilizer from the grass, of course. We had to run the mile with that, nice smell. Luckily, whenever the bakery, it wasn't a bakery, it was like a factory across the street. They made a lot of sweets over there. They baked a lot of sweets over there, I should say. And that smell mixed with the fertilizer would happen at the same time. The best and worst of both worlds. It was on a previous show where I talked about the world's ugliest dog, Wild Thing, that 8-year-old Pekingese dog. This is how you can tell all dogs are cute, because they're putting that dog's face, the world's ugliest dog. He is getting his mug on a Mug root beer can. Yeah, Mug root beer sponsored Mug root beer sponsored the event. And in addition to cash prizes for the first, second, and third place winners, the winner Wild Thing will be featured on a limited edition can of Mug root beer. That right there, no one's going to say, man, that dog is downright awful looking. Let me go buy that root beer. They're going to say, wow, what a cute, ugly dog. So ugly, it's cute. Imagine it again if we had that world's ugliest person competition and Mug root beer decided to say, hey, let's put the world's ugliest person on our can. Nobody's going to want to buy that. They're going to be, oh, gross. I'm not going to stare at this while drinking my root beer. K-Bear 101, it is now that time for To Peach Their Own. Time for me to ask you a question. Then you call in live on the show at 208-535-1015. Saw this question pop up. Some guy asked this question on an Instagram reel. I just screenshotted it, saved it for today. Who is the biggest band you've seen in a small room? I almost saw Rise Against at the Whiskey A Go-Go. They did a special show there in Los Angeles, and I wanted to buy tickets to that show. I had them in my cart. I was checking out, and then I stupidly refreshed the page, which then right after that it said, oh, sorry, all tickets are sold out within like a minute or so, because there was only allowed like 200 people in there. Looking at some of the comments, I'm seeing some people say System of a Down at the Roach Motel in Pocatello. Head PE, I think, was on there, is what Quint put. Slayer back in 1986. Dawn didn't even put the venue on there. Just said Slayer 86. Tana Royal Bliss 2008 in some hotel in Idaho Falls. Royal Bliss has always been a fun band to see live, and I'm glad they're growing out there. They're doing their thing. I think they're on tour right now. Joe, Lincoln Park opening up for the Cottonmouth Kings at the 2020 in Pocatello. Man, that would have been awesome. Would have been way cool. Who is the biggest band you've seen in a small room? Call in right now at 208-535-1015. Hey, K-Bear, how's it going?
Great. Peaches.
Yes, I know that voice. It's Quint. How's it going?
Good. Just calling in with your question. To me, System of a Down. I saw them here in Pocatello at a little venue back in the day called the Roach Motel.
That's what Victor has talked to me about in the past. I think he went to that show.
Head PE had been here. They came through here a 2-3 times, and then, but the one time it was with System of a Down, and I still have the ticket stub, and it was a pretty awesome show. But then also in 2004, I saw Slipknot with Fear Factory and Chimera and another band back in 2004 with at a place called The Venue in Salt Lake, but it was a small little club. And I'll tell you what, it was insane. it was, you know, and that was on it was their Jägermeister tour. And they were also I think they were doing a lot of the Ozfest shows around that time as well.
Wow.
So it was pretty crazy getting up and close, out personal with, you know, it was, because I've seen Slipknot a few times, but it was always been at a big venue, and except that time.
K-Bear, what's up? How's it going?
Not too bad.
Here to answer today's To Peach Their Own.
As best as possible.
All right, who's the biggest band you've seen in a small room?
Well, any of the bands I've ever seen in a small room, I can never remember any of their names. But there was a missed opportunity once to see a band called Uriah Heep at Bogies back when it existed over in Boise. Only problem was I was too young to get in.
You should have lied about your age.
There's no way they were going to let in a 6-year-old.
Just say you had that Benjamin Button thing, and you're secretly like 72. You're just aging backwards.
Well, I mean, it was Bogies. They might have bought that.
K-Bear, how's it going?
Hey, Peaches, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Hey, yeah, I just heard your previous caller mention the Old Roach
Yeah.
Hotel. Dude, way, way back, I got to see Soulfly there.
Very nice.
Yes, that was their first tour after he had left Sepultura. Max Cavalera had left Sepultura and started that band Soulfly, and they just blew up, of course, after, you know, but that was a wicked, insane show. So close, so up. I mean, full dreads, camo shorts, the whole business, man. It was a bad, insane show in a small, small room.
Isn't it weird how not only is Sepultura like doing the final tour or whatever, like they're pretty much done, but also Cavalera is doing his own thing now, and he's putting out all these other metal songs.
Oh yeah, but I mean, Sepultura was a huge band back in the day.
Right.
Definitely heavy, crushing, cool music, man. But that Soulfly, yeah, I remember when they come out, it was, I think all us old metalheads back in the day were a little bit apprehensive about it, but after we got into it, good times, man.
K-Bear, thanks for calling in. How's it going?
Hey, about yourself?
Doing great. Who is the biggest band you've seen in a small room?
Static X and ICP.
Ooh, where at?
I saw him in a pool hall in Pocatello back about 91, 92.
So you did get to see Wayne Static. Yeah, lucky you.
Yeah, I was like 2 feet. I was about 2 feet away from the stage. There was about only 300 people allowed in there.
See, I didn't really know much about Static X until, unfortunately, after he died, and he died in 2014. I didn't even realize that. I thought it was a lot earlier.
Yeah, it was really awesome. It was like a 3-hour concert between both of them.
Wow. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoy the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.